Happy to bring in a former Michigan State player and current BTN analyst. Linebacker Darien Harris joins us now. Darien, did you see this coming at all in the last handful of weeks or so?
No, definitely not. I thought that it may happen in the next, couple years, maybe after next season even. Perhaps after this season, but definitely not at the timing of, right now starting off February. So I definitely didn't see it coming. I'm not sure anybody saw it coming. Maybe obviously his family would have been, akin to what was going to happen. But it's us as his former players, probably the current players, and maybe even the staff. It's definitely a shock.
Let me go back to the very beginning. How did he recruit you? What do you remember about that?
I remember the honesty. Obviously came out of state to Maryland to bring me all the way to Michigan, which was pretty special for him to do. Recruiting out of state is tough. Everybody likes to stay home and play in front of friends and family, but I just remember the honesty, and I remember especially the fact that it was prior to the 2010 season, so his first Big Ten title. So it was prior to that. And it was essentially selling the dream of success in Michigan State and saying that, you have an opportunity to be a part of something special if you buy in. And that's all I needed to hear from him. I knew from day one that I wanted to play for this man and couldn't have made a better decision.
What was he like in a locker room, whether it was before a game, at halftime, after a win or a loss? What was he like?
He was what we needed him to be. I think that's the best way to put it. Depending on the mood, the tone, the game, the setting. He was truly what we needed him to be. If we needed him to be funny and crack a joke, he would do that. If we needed him to be serious, he would do that. If we needed him to yell and scream and holler, he would do that. So he was truly a chameleon in all senses of the word in terms of coaching. And I think that's why we had the success we had, and that has been the case in the past 13 years that he's been at the helm at Michigan State. He's fantastic at understanding the situation, knowing the situation, and bringing out of him what the team needs.
When was the time you saw him the most emotional in front of you?
Oh man, wow. Probably after the Rose Bowl. I think that was a culmination of a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication to the program and to the team, and it was definitely just because that was, that class of his was special to him. It was the first one that was his full, the full class that he recruited in. So that 2013 class, when they, left, I think it really hit him hard because that was a class that he truly built and molded, and the culmination of all that work turned out to be a Rose Bowl. So it was pretty special to see that and be a part of that, and it was definitely a blessing.
When we were just talking a few minutes ago about the Michigan rivalry, how do you describe the way he treated the rivalry with Michigan?
Oh, I think he treated it like any coach should treat a rivalry. And I think that we miss out on that a lot because of the cliches that every game is the same. He even has a saying, they all count one, but not when it came to the Michigan game. That game was different. He treated it as different. The week of practice was different. The preparation was different. And every single day, whether we were in season or out of season, we did something to beat Michigan. That was our motto. That's what we did day in and day out. And that's something that was incredibly important to him. And I think that's why we had the success that we've had against Michigan to kind of flip the tide in terms of that rivalry, because it wasn't treated like just any other game, which I think is incredibly important, and it was incredibly special to play for somebody who really took a rivalry and treated it as it should be, because it's not like any other game.
If you had to pinpoint the one thing that he did best as a head coach, what was it?
Care. He cared about his players, the staff, the people around him, the academic staff, the trainers, the managers, the equipment staff. He cares about people. And you don't see that a lot, I don't think, in college athletics or really athletics at all. There's a lot of turnover. Everything is about wins and losses. He truly cared about who you were as a person, especially growing us into young men, molding us into young men. He cared about our 4 pillars of life, whether it was academic, athletic, spiritual, or social. He really wanted to make sure that we were thriving in all those aspects of life. So the fact that he cared about us is what's, going to resonate with us, his former players, for a lifetime. And, I really love that man, and I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to play for him.
Darien Harris, linebacker from 2011 to 2015 in East Lansing. Thanks for your insights. We appreciate it.